What's going on, everybody? Today, we're going to walk you through how we underwrite wrap deals and lease options in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm taking you through a real life deal. This deal came to me through one of my students. We're going to partner on this deal. It is a subject to $5,000 entry fee in Indianapolis, which is a market we really like. So let's dive into it and get started. For those of you that don't know, my name is Philip Loudon. And over the past 6 years, we've done over 200 transactions, over 70 wraps, and tons of creative finance deals. And so our specialty is selling properties on wraps and on lease options. And our whole spiel and our whole thing that we really drive home is you don't need to do a bajillion different exit strategies. You don't need to be buying land over here and doing RV parks over here and doing co-living over here in order to create financial freedom through real estate. In reality, what that creates you is tons of headaches. So what we've done is we've doubled down into one market with one exit strategy. We've done it over and over again. And with that, we've created dozens of thousands of dollars in monthly cash flow. And that is our whole big thing. It's really getting focused in doing one thing. The idea of real estate, what I've learned over the past 6 years, is that you need multiple things to create financial freedom through real estate. One is you need some level of active income. That can be done through wholesaling, through flipping, through your W-2 job. Whatever it is, you need some sort of source of income, right? And once you have that source of income, you then need cash flow. And the whole goal is creating more cash flow than you spend every single month. And the best way to do that is through lease options and wraps and single family real estate. Because when a rental might cash flow you $300 per month, a wrap is going to cash flow you $800 per month, and you have no capital expenditure, you have no vacancy. So it's real cash flow. It's money that you're actually receiving every single month. Whereas a rental, I've a rental a few hours away from me, and I get called multiple times about garage doors not working and needing to send someone out there, or the smoke alarms going off, which cost me like $1,600 for the freaking smoke alarms. You can see how that eats up at the actual cash flow. The whole goal is to escape the rat race. We escape the rat race by creating more cash flow than we spend every single month. This is what I've learned over the past 6 years. I've simplified this. This is like goal number one. Real estate is freedom, right? We're creating freedom. We want freedom. And freedom comes from having a peaceful portfolio that pays you every single month. It does not come from having 1,000 rentals. 1,000 rentals might give you financial freedom, but it does not give you freedom of mind. It does not give you freedom of time. And for me, it creates way too much stress. So how I've structured my portfolio is through a structure of wraps, selling houses on seller financing to families that can't qualify with the banks, and lease options. And there's different places for each of these. I break this down in other videos, but this is the whole main focus. And so if you're brand new, a wrap is you get a property with long-term financing in place, and then you sell that property on seller financing to a family that doesn't qualify with the banks. A lot of the families that buy from us are entrepreneurs, 1099 employees. They own restaurants, they're general contractors, they own construction businesses. There's tons of these families who want to buy and very little inventory for them. And that is what creates this blue ocean of seller financing that we're currently in. So it's a really, really amazing niche. So today I'm going to walk you through how we go and underwrite these deals and underwrite them really quickly. Another note you'll see about this deal is this is a subject to a deal. We're taking over someone's mortgage, and it's over 6% interest on the underlying financing. And we're going to see how this deal will still work, which is really exciting. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through my thought process as I do that. This is the property. It is in Indianapolis. So let's first take a look at this property, and we'll see things I like to see for these properties as well. There's a nice little property, 2 beds, 2 baths, 720 square feet, off-street parking, which is great. We always like off-street parking. It's a small house, so this is like a good one for a small family. Typically, we would like to have properties at over more than usually 3 beds and above. As a 2-2, it's just a little bit smaller, but it's fine. It has a kitchen, it's an as-is living condition, is rent ready. So now one of the first things I'm going to check is going to be, what are the market rents in this area? So let's go ahead to Rentometer, see what the market rents are. Okay, nice. So we market rents around 1,400. We can double check that on Zillow. When I do my first round of underwriting, I'm really just doing ballpark math. I talk this a lot with our students, especially once they're just getting started with locking up their first deals. Don't be underwriting before you're talking to sellers. Talk to sellers. If you're talking to sellers and you're like, let me analyze the deal before I call them, please don't do that. Call them, make phone calls. Like, you have to make phone calls. You don't have to do any underwriting until you have a motivated person, because no deal is going to come if you don't have motivation. So step number one is always finding that motivated individual. If you're buying from wholesalers, okay, now start underwriting. But if you're going direct to seller, call them first. Time, energy, and frustration. we cannot avoid the work. And oftentimes the work is done through like having these conversations that are uncomfortable. Okay. So let me pull this back up. So market rent 1400. And then let's see, was this property listed? I believe it was listed before. Let's see what it was listed for. It was listed for 165 for about a little bit less than a month. So we'll say the current market value is probably somewhere around that 157. So I'm just assuming that the current market value is underneath that listed amount because it didn't sell for cash or for traditional. But it was only listed for a short period of time. So if it's listed for a year, then we probably go a little bit lower even than that 157. I mean, considering we got for 136, we can assume that the current market value is somewhere around 141. We're getting this property for 141,500 with 5,000 down. So now let's begin to see what we can sell it for. So what I have here is I grabbed the taxes from the mortgage statement. I made sure that the overall PITI on the underlying financing is 1158. I think it's actually 1170, so $12 off. But we want to make sure that matches. And yeah, and for everyone who doesn't have an underwriting tool, we have a free underwriting tool that we give out. This underwriting tool is just for ourselves and our students. This is one we've spent 100+ hours building out and optimizing. But we have a basic one. If you're struggling to underwrite, we do have a basic tool you guys can use. Now let's begin with the sale price. So when we're pricing these deals, there's different ways that we can go about doing the pricing. The biggest things that people are paying attention to is going to be that sale price, that down payment, and that monthly payment. So for us, we want to make sure that we have it favorable in some ways and higher in the other ways. So for us, I prefer to push that sale price higher. I would like for them to have a higher sale price. It was listed for 165, so this might be a little bit too high. Equals 165 times 1.1, so 181. Then you can do a little bit higher on that interest rate. Okay. So we're kind of getting into the range of where we want to be. For a 2-bed property, this is probably about the peak. This loan cushion also includes our servicing fee as well as an escrow cushion. What an escrow cushion does, it protects us from taxes and insurance increases. It allows for us to collect additional money every single month so that if at the end of the year we see the taxes increased, we can back pay that and then increase their payments for the next year. So I would say for this particular deal, it's a little bit tighter than we want to be. Typically, I want to be making over $400 per month in cash flow. And usually I want that 7-year profit to be over 100,000. So this deal is a little bit tight, but we are getting into it for only $5,000. And so with $10,000 down, we're going to have infinite returns, right? After closing costs and holding costs, ideally we can get this double closed, meaning that we have a contract for 30 days. We're going to hopefully find that buyer within that 30 days so that we can take this deal down. So with all of that in mind, if our returns are infinite, then we'll take a little bit lower. Ideally, we usually want this to be, I like my deals to be mostly at $750 a month in cash flow. Anything under 400 is too low typically. We can probably end up pushing it to see if we can sell it for a little bit higher and see if we can get around 1,700 for the deal. And that would push us to 441 in cash flow, which is healthy. I'm always looking at to see what the worst case scenario would be as well, because I want to know in a worst case scenario where we would be just to protect us from having bad deals, right? We don't want to get bad deals ever. We don't want to lose money on deals. So overall, this is most of my pricing. And then, there's different ways that you can go about structuring it. For example, if we want to push that, we can always try for a higher down payment, which would also help. The higher down payment will lower that monthly payment as well. But the monthly payments and the down payment are really the two most important things. This is how I underwrite deals in 5 minutes, right? So we took all the underlying financing information and we see what the monthly payment is. And then we took the current market value, a ballpark, and we see what we can sell it for. And then we play around these numbers to make sure that the monthly looks appealing and that the down payment looks appealing. And we structure it. And as long as the numbers look good, I mean, this deal I would say is a button single. It's not necessarily a home run deal, but with the entry fee that we have, we still like the deal and we'll still make it work. And I'm not going to say no to this deal. The other option is it could be a rental, but this just cash flows way better. That's it. 5 minutes, we underwrote a deal. If you have questions, throw them in the comments below. So there you go. That is a quick 5-minute underwriting of a wrap deal. You can see the process that we went through. We want to know what the current market value is. We want to know what the ARV is. This one was already listed, so it made it very easy for us. And then we need to know taxes, insurance. For taxes, you can just look on Zillow to go find those taxes. The next thing is we need to go ahead and price this property, and based off the desirability, based off the location, based off of what the property looks like, we're going to determine how much we can actually sell it for. We need to know what the market rents are in the area, and the market rents, it fluctuates. I have properties that the market rents are $1,200 and I got $1,800 per month on it. We have to look at every property holistically. We look at, was there off-street parking? Is there a basement? Is there unfinished square footage that can be finished? How's the area? What do people like in this area? What market is it in? All these things are going to determine the desirability of a property and of a product. And with that, we then are able to do the pricing. I always structure pricing in a way so that I have what I'm shooting for. And in a worst case scenario, if I had to fire sale the property, this is what I would sell it for. And with that, am I still okay? Am I still okay with that decision if I were to have to fire sell it? So that's the deal. Hope you guys enjoyed. Put any questions below. If you want that underwriting tool, comment below and let us know, and we'll get it sent over to you. And if you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe below. It makes me happy, helps us to continue making videos, and also allows for us to continue growing our reach for people that get to see these videos. So if you enjoyed this, definitely subscribe, comment below, let us know you liked it, and let us know what other areas you're struggling in, because I make a new one of these videos every single week. I bring guests on, and we're here to help you guys to get to financial freedom, right? The world deserves to have more good people who have financial freedom, and that is what this channel is all about, and that's what we do. See you guys next time.